Alright, hello everyone, what is up? My name is Marshall, and today we are starting episode number 20 of this Hoffenheim career mode. And in today's episode, we had a few things to get through. First, we had some scout reports that we were looking at, and we had to follow up on our Kramaric deal, which was rejected by Bayer Leverkusen, not surprisingly, so we upped it to 13 million, or 12 million actually. We went just slightly lowballed his valuation. And we also got a few transfer offers for Amiri, so we countered 27.5 million. I mean, if they're going to pay that, they can obviously have him. And we got one for Marvin Schwab, but actually he has 80 potential, so I went ahead and rejected that one for the young German keeper. And actually, guys, so if you haven't been following Hoffenheim recently, then you wouldn't know that Primoz Schwegler has been sold on a free to Hoffenheim or to Hanover, newly promoted to the Bundesliga, and so he will be leaving in the save as well. We'll probably get maybe like 7 or 8 million out of him. He was a decent player in the save, but not quite good enough. And yeah, guys, then we headed into this match against Zenit, and we lost 3-0. It was a very poor performance, but I was just trying a few things out with the team, and it did not work at all. Defensively, we were all over the place, and what this proved to me is that we shouldn't really be going for Andre Kramaric. We should be going for the position that we need the most. We need a holding midfielder as good as Rudy, and we need a center back as good as Sula. So obviously this was a very harsh loss, but our performance wasn't actually that poor. Just on the defensive end, it wasn't quite good enough. But yeah, we definitely need to be able to beat teams like Zenit if we're going to be good in the Champions League, and this team really couldn't do that at all or even come close. So we definitely need to strengthen quite a bit in this summer transfer window, and I've only gotten offers for Amiri, none for Sula, none for Rudy, but I'm sure those will come after we sell Amiri. But that saga will continue in this episode. Make sure to drop a like if you are enjoying to this point. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We would get into some training between the games. I'm training Ux, Grilic, and Akpoguma, who has 83 potential, which is going to be kind of nice. Dortmund rejected the counteroffer for Amiri, which I was a little bit disappointed about because that was our second rejection. So I kept countering a little bit lower, and I decided I would counter lower the next time. And they rejected our bid for Kramaric, so we were going to come back to him if we have money left, but we're not going to perseverate on it a lot. Now, next I was surprised to get a bid for Amiri from Hamburg. And we countered pretty low because Hamburg aren't that good. So I was just playing around with it, wasn't really too sure what to counter with. I ended up going with 20 million, but I was feeling like, why would he really go to Hamburg? So I upped it to 22 because I do think we should get a lot of money for him. But then to the final match of the group stage, we would take on Mainz, and it was a 4-1 victory. So we have really had a spectrum of victories. We had a 4-0 win in the first game, a 3-0 loss, and then a 4-1 win. So it was this has just been a crazy group stage tournament, but we absolutely dominated Mainz. They were very poor. You can clearly see why they've been relegated to the second Bundesliga, but Yunus Mali is still there, and so I can see that he might be a decent signing if we have any money. But we did get some pretty nice goals in this game. Tolian with the second, I think. I don't know. I haven't even been watching. I've just been watching a MLS game on the side. They got one goal when I was I think I was like looking out the window or something. I was spacing out. That was disappointing. I wanted to keep the clean sheet. I'd always rather take a 3-0 than 4-1. But, you know, unfortunate that it doesn't even matter, so, yeah. But, guys, let me know. I need some suggestions, because on episode 19, nobody gave me a single suggestion, and I'm very, very disappointed about that. I know you guys can do better. We need suggestions, not to sound, like, annoying, but we need a lot of suggestions, because we have a decent team here, but this is not a team that can compete in both the Champions League and the Bundesliga. And I think the goal this season should be to finish in a Champions League spot and maybe go down to the Europa League. Or if we could qualify through from the group stage, that would be great. But I think what we're going to try to do is go down to the Europa League and see if we can compete in that. Just depends what group we get, really, though. And Mark Uth got the man of the match that one. I'm going to try to do that a little bit more. But in the semis, we would play Stade Rennes from France. They are a decent French side, but not great, so I felt like pretty confident going through to that one. And just scrolling through my shortlist a little bit here, I was just looking at some of the stuff. But then, guys, we got an offer back for Amiri from Hamburg, and they said they would only pay 15 million, so I went down to 19 million. But I was feeling a little bit bad about it. I was like, why would we... I don't know, 19 million for Hamburg, a team that's clearly worse than us. I don't know. Also, we sold Marco Terracino there. And then, I know this episode's really choppy for some reason, but We would go into the semi-final of the preseason tournament to play Stade Rennes, and we beat them quite comprehensively. It was 3-0 in the first half, and then somehow we kind of fell apart in the second half, and we let them have like double the shots that we had, which was very disappointing in the end. So I'm very, very, very on the market for a center back and a holding midfielder, and in this episode we would not go for either of those yet because I want to get all of your guys' feedback before I go for one. But if I'm not going to get any, the one I'm probably going to go for is Yannick Vestergaard, and I don't know where to go with center midfield. I definitely want somebody who's listed more as a holding midfielder than just a center midfielder, so I'm thinking someone in that position. I saw Brozovic on that list, and that was pretty interesting. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. He's a pretty generic signing, so we might not go for him. I'm saying way too much in this episode. I'm sorry. I'm not good at post-com yet. But anyway, we gave Stade Rennes a silly goal in this game. It was an assist from Cher. Basically, he just didn't clear it enough in time, and I don't really know what to say. Yeah, this episode, we're running out of time. But anyway, we would get through to the final, and in the final, we would play Zenit St. Petersburg again. So in the next episode, we will have some time to get our revenge on them. But guys, let's get some transfer suggestions in the comments. And one last thing in the Amiri saga. 23.5 million we counted for Leverkusen, who were in for an offer, and Hamburg were not willing to pay the requisite amount, so we would actually turn them down. But if Leverkusen do not accept this 23.5 million offer, they don't pay that much for him, I think I'm just going to try that thing where we just loan him out and see if he gets happy again, because I definitely think that he has a potential to be a very, very good player for this club and for any other club, and I do think we should be getting a lot more money for him. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think I should do there. Give me some transfer suggestions, and I'll see you all in the next episode.